What's up guys, CJ here and welcome back to another all-new Blade Runner video, and today, on the heels of some of our other videos about Blade Runners and replicants in that Blade Runner universe, we decided to explore and explain the most prolific and iconic theory to come out of the film. Is Rick Deckard a replicant? The question has been asked for about as long as the film has been out, and in the book the film was based on, the answer was a definitive no. It was a designed parallel. As the androids were becoming more human, Deckard's killing of them was making him less human. The film, though, took a decidedly different stance, either seeming to confirm it outright in the director's cut and final cut, while leaving it ambiguous at the very least in the original theatrical version. It even polarized the people surrounding the film, with director Ridley Scott standing on the table, banging the drum, whatever metaphor you want to use, just staunchly defending the fact that Deckard was a replicant, while Deckard himself, Harrison Ford, believes the exact opposite. This is a complex theory with a lot of different facets and moving parts, and there will be spoilers for the movie. But first, let's discuss the evidence in the basest version of the film, the theatrical cut. Despite this version leaving the question largely unanswered, there is a lot of evidence that points in that direction without confirming it. First, some of the more overt things. Gaff's first line to Deckard translates to, "You are the Blade Runner," seemingly a pretty obvious clue on the face of it. Also, in arriving after Batty has died, his first words to Deckard are, "You've done a man's work, sir." Gaff also lets Deckard and Rachel leave at the end of the movie, but more on that in a little bit. In addition, in the scene where he tells Rachel someone would come after her if she were to run or try to flee, his eyes glow like the replicants do at multiple points in the movie. Deckard also takes a ton of punishment from the replicants in the film, who are much stronger than normal beings without any real noticeable harm to his health, and then he also manages to wound Roy Batty with a metal pipe, despite Batty literally running his head through a wall without any effect to himself just a moment earlier. Then, of course, there's the scene in which Batty saves Deckard on the rooftop, speaking tellingly about what it's like to live in fear as a slave, and then choosing not to kill Deckard, but to ultimately succumb to his inevitable death as his 4-year lifespan expires. Roy also knew Deckard's name before it was told to him, interestingly. Outside of these more overt clues, there are some more subtle hints strewn throughout the film. The whole scene with Rachel in the Voight-Kampff test sheds a light on how Deckard might be a replicant and might not know it, as he expresses shock to Tyrell fairly point blank about how Rachel doesn't know what she is. Tyrell then reveals that the corporation implanted fake memories within Rachel's mind, essentially to act as a cushion, in his words, as most replicants are obsessed with memories, like Roy Batty, maybe due to their limited lifespans. In this context, it's interesting that we don't see any evidence of Deckard's past life as a police officer, and no reference to anything within the gap of time between his retirement from being a cop and his coming out of retirement in the film itself. Could that past life have just been implanted memories for Deckard as an emotional cushion? The film seems set up to make us think so. In the director's cut, though, the answer is much more clear through a little bit of symbolism. In the scene in which Deckard is playing the piano and daydreaming, we see interspersed shots of a unicorn. Out of context, it seems fairly odd and out of place until the end of the movie. Throughout the film, Gaff has been teasing and taunting Deckard, leaving him little origami figures with symbolic meanings. A chicken when Deckard doesn't want to take on the job in the first place, etc., etc. In the last scene of the movie, as Deckard and Rachel are making their escape, Rachel steps over an origami unicorn on her way to the elevator. Deckard picks it up and examines it, a clear sign that Gaff was there but is letting them go. But the question is, how would Gaff have even known about Deckard's daydream? And the irrevocable answer is that Deckard is a replicant. But how? Well, an earlier scene in the movie provides proof. When Deckard reveals to Rachel she's a replicant and not a human, he describes her own memories to her that she believes to be real, but hadn't told him. Things he couldn't possibly have known unless they were implanted and he read it or was told by someone else about them. This is a similar situation, confirmed by Ridley Scott, as the unicorn daydream was an implanted memory that Gaff read or was told about, and his leaving the unicorn is his little symbol. Deckard's nodding seems to imply that in that moment, he realizes it too. But which side of the argument do you come down on? Do you believe Rick Deckard is a replicant, or is he just a human being? That's going to do it for this video, though. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.